Because the Course in Miracles is extremely radical. If you've ever read it, it's one of those more profound books, and it's written in a poetic language, and sometimes it can be quite difficult to kind of grok what it's saying. But in general, it offers us another way of looking at the world. Interestingly, it is extremely parallel to what Unity offers, that its philosophy is quite radical than what it might appear on the surface. On the surface, it might say, if you change your mind, you will have a better life. You'll have better good things in it. You'll have more good things in it and less bad things. And you'll be happier. And that's true. But I think what this book is doing and what the Course in Miracles is doing is it's essentially saying, hey, there's a much bigger game that we'd like to play with you. And this is how you can transform not only your little things, but the big things in your life. The biggest thing is, who are you really? To come to know yourself as you really are. Who is the core of who you are? Not who have you assumed to be, but who were you really made to be? This idea of a dream within a dream is extremely helpful. When you fall asleep, your world that you create is a projection of your own Some days, you're being chased by monsters. Other days, you're flying. It's a fantastic thing. But it all happens inside your mind. And when your mind is doing this, it is very real. It feels very real. It's complete. It's total. It's everything. But when you wake up, when you open your eyes, then it disappears. It's not real. It didn't really matter. It was an experience for sure. Maybe you even remember it, but it's gone. It's not there. It's just in your mind. Now contemplate this idea, that when you wake up from that dream, when you're dreaming at night, you wake up, you open your eyes, that you're still in a dream. That you're in the dream that the Course is talking about. And that is the dream that you're separate from God. That you have lost your connection with the divine. That somehow you are not love made manifest. That you are essentially a separate being. And as a separate being, you experience fear. And having experienced fear, you experience separateness and the struggles of life. And that you don't really know how to love. And so you have relationships that do not reflect your true nature, but reflect your sense of separateness. And the whole thing continues throughout your whole life because we continue to be in a dream. But the idea of the Course is that you wake up. That you're no longer in this dream. That you come to realize, so this is not reality. This is my separateness. I now have a body that I think is me. And this body not only has a edge and a separateness, but it even more importantly, it gets sick and it has troubles, it has problems. These problems confirm that I am not one with the divine. It is self-evident that that I live in separation. And Unity actually is saying the same thing. Charles Fillmore wrote most of what we use as the foundational thoughts around Unity about 120 years ago. The Course in Miracles came out around in the 70s, about 75. But they say essentially the same thing, that God made you. Having made you, you made your experience. Therein lies the rub. We have made this experience. We have made this experience as it is, that what we see is a projection of us. It is our dreaming it. It is not God's world. It's our world. And we're stuck within it until we can grow out of it. And the process of transforming your mind is this process of growing out of it. It means that your consciousness, your crystal, is connected to everyone else. And being connected to everyone else, you are also sourcing the experience of everyone else and being sourced by that experience also. So that we are all in this together, or as we might say in a Jungian fashion, that you have a collective consciousness. There's another place where everything is complete, always has been. We're not missing anything because we're in with the Creator as the Creator. We're that divine idea. And the divine idea, both in the Course in Miracles and in Unity, is called the Christ. That idea is the complete thought of what we might be. Now, it's not that what we might be as a body, it's what we might be as, we'll call it spirit. So there's many aspects in that. There are many parts to that grand idea called the Christ. But for sure, in the Christ, all is complete. All that you are, all that's necessary for you is there. You are it. You are not separate from God. There's no fear. There's no separation. There's only oneness. There's unity. You and me is the big one. God and us is the big separation. We live over here, but it turns out, if you really think about the absolute, it's not over there. It interpenetrates the very presence here. Even in the duality, even in our separate sense of self, there permeates within us this oneness, this connection, this non-differentiation from the divine as we hear only what we want to hear. We see only what we want to see. We can't get beyond it. Except, of course, if you listen to Charles Fillmore or read the Course in Miracles, they say, hey, let there be a crack in your simplistic way of seeing the world as a problem and begin to see the world as a whole and you as the source of your experience. And then when you want to change the world, you don't have to go out here and manipulate it over here. You just change the way you project, what you're projecting. You become the source. You own that you are the source. You, as a crystal on Indra's net, you are the source of this experience. And then you can really make a difference, because the difference isn't over there. It's here. But the big outcome is what we're really after, which is to awaken to who you really are and feel a radical shift of the disappearance of the universe as you had seen it and see it fresh. See it as it really is. But when you wake up to that you are divine love, that you are love, you've never left God, you're in that place of heaven, in a sense. You're in the kingdom of the divine. This is a good outcome. This is something to look forward to. And the journey along the way can be a bit disorienting. This is where prayer and meditation and intention come in. Is that we set the intention to wake up, and we ask that it be done gracefully and gently with us, but that we be pulled in the direction of our awakening step by step as it needs to happen. And then we agree when it is happening. We let it happen, and essentially we say yes to the unfolding.